Oh, she's recording it.
Yes.
Can you ask her for the recording?
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Good. And this is Amanda. Hi.
Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So grateful that we can make this quick connection. And it's good to see Catherine's face.
Yeah, sorry, I was in the bank parking lot before, so
It is, yeah, I hear you. The glamorous parts of business, right? Wherever we are, we're working.
yeah.
Okay, so quick introduction, Amanda. Do you want to do it, Catherine?
I've kind of already gotten a little bit, yeah, background. So she knows kind of, I didn't go into all your background. I just kind of gave her like where we're at with getting into you and choose program. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to. So, uh, I understand you had this and then you got into the sales process. So, I'm very intrigued by that.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, so my name is Stacy Krzan. I have a med spa slash wellness business in New Jersey. It's fairly new, only been open since the beginning of 2023. I started as a consultant and coach. I used to work for the company that actually sold the Neve Skin, probably to you, or I don't know if Chew sold it to you or such, but I used to work at that company. And prior to that, I used to be in sales and marketing at big pharma and specialty pharma. My passion is around helping people make more money. Reason money is important is because what you're spending your time and energy on is the currency of value is money. And so that's that at the end of the day, that's really, in a nutshell, trying to help you guys have greater conversion of your time, expertise, and your resources. Catherine got connected to us because she is, like many business owners, a jack of all trades. She's working full time. She put her life savings on the line because she has a dream of helping more people look better. Probably also, she is probably like me. I'm 51 years old, and I am my ideal target audience of I'd like to not wear makeup and spend all the time worrying about how I show up. And these are incredible solutions that you and she are offering to women and other people, right? It's not necessarily a vain business. Making people feel good about themselves helps them show up more confident for their families. It helps them be more confident to make bigger decisions, bigger risks. And those are the things that she has been taken on as a business owner. The reason I believe Catherine sought our help is because although she and probably you could do this all by yourself, you could do it a lot faster if you had somebody with the foresight of what you're about to experience. The whole point of bringing on somebody who is like 6 months, a year, or 5 years ahead of you is that way you don't have to live painfully and frustrating and go bankrupt in the process of enjoying your investment. Does that sound good to you guys? What?
yes, yes.
Okay, so where I see, so Catherine and I had a quick little baseline chat today to discuss some of the things that she'd like to see improve in her business and how she'd like to spend her time and energy. She is very similar to me as being a mom who worked and built credibility in a different business and then has taken her own personal investment in funding the business, but also realizing that she can't pull the plug on that, money tree at this time. And so she is spending a small portion of her time in the business. That's why she brought us on. What's different about mine and Chu as my business partner? What's very different about our approach than many other consultants? Um, I would say the difference between a consultant and a coach, which is, really important to know. A coach will tell you how to navigate and teach. Very important, right? So I'm sure, Catherine was sort of like your coach when you came on board. A consultant is actually somebody who fulfills a service that is almost like an FTE or an expertise that can offset some of your daily activities. So, like an advertising agency or a marketing person that's doing some tactics. I consider ourselves a hybrid of both. It doesn't necessarily mean that, doesn't necessarily matter if I'm teaching you or if I'm doing it. My goal is solely for you to reap the benefits of making more money. So whether I'm rolling up my sleeves and sitting right next to you in a treatment business, whether it's on Zoom like this, or whether it's me helping you with scripts so you could do something better, or it's me bringing some of my employees that I've trained that have been in your shoes that might resonate more deeply or quicker with somebody like you and Catherine, that we would mobilize resources to do that. At the end of the day, your revenue is our goal. Your time you're investing, less time, higher return, more money is our goal. So we are not looking to take your job away. We're not looking to make your job more complicated. We're simply making it to be a leverage. So when you show up, you're able to convert at a higher pace.
Wonderful.
All right. So you probably have some questions for me. Can you bring them to me?
Thinking here. I kind of want to know the background of like, is it more personable for the sales process? Like, where are you guys coming from with that standpoint? I am more personable, where like I think this needs to be more cold-faced per se.
I would call it consultative.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that falls in your spectrum.
This is a great question. So you're asking me about what type of sales approach I'm going to teach you.
Yeah.
Okay. So my degree, my background is in chemical engineering. So I'm actually a technical person that has that probably has a personality more similar to, like, I assume you and Catherine, where you both just enjoy meeting and greeting people, and you sometimes are extrovert and sometimes introvert. And because I have a background in chemical engineering, I actually take what works, the verbiage, the process, the stage that the prospect is in, and make it very objective. So most sales coaches will tell you it's an art. And they will tell you things like, be more personable. No, I'm going to tell you exactly the questions you should ask so that way they feel heard.
Perfect.
I actually think sales is not an art. It is simply as a process of uncovering somebody who's in front of you, what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. Now, the way I teach and consult is exactly the same way I'm hosting this call. The same way I teach, the same way Chu and I got Catherine to invest a significant amount of money because she identified a pain point that she can't resolve, is the same thing I'm going to teach you, how to take your leads to identify a pain point that they'd like to get resolved faster with your investment of your resources. It is whether you're selling cryo transformations, or you're selling peptides for longevity, or you're selling sales training or consultation training, anything that is expensive and high ticket, it's the same process, the same questions, the same exact timing.
Okay.
So for people like you, because it's, the reason you're asking me this question is because you're probably, I mean, I assume you're either an esthetician or some sort of therapist or nurse. So you already, I can assume, I'm going to make the assumption you got into that because you love to, like, try new things, offer tips, and make people feel good.
Yep.
Okay. And you hate the idea of being a salesperson. You never want to convince somebody that you don't believe in. You never want to force somebody to buy something that you wouldn't buy yourself.
It's hard for me to sell something that I would struggle with being like, oh yeah, I can totally pay that right now. Yes.
So can I ask you, your name is Amanda? Is it Amanda? Okay.
Yes.
Amanda, can I ask you how old you are?
26.
26-year-olds. So I have a 26-year-old sales rep that just literally sold a $8,000 package today to a stranger.
Sure.
Would my person, Abby, actually spend $8,000 for these services? No.
No.
My other manager is 44 and she just literally has a transaction from a stranger. And I say stranger because when they're a paid Facebook lead, they're a stranger. And they're not just a regular stranger, they're a stranger with entitlement and lack of trust. And that's how you get to meet them as a Facebook lead.
Yep.
So one of the things when I'm teaching a lot of the business owners like Catherine, their thought is, or actually their thought is, should I hire somebody more like a target audience because it's easier for somebody like me. I'm 51, I have no time, and I am able to resonate with a mom like myself. However, the reason that the reason is because I inherently believe. So one of the things that we're going to work on is your belief because your belief, when people are buying from you, they're either borrowing your belief or they're borrowing or they have their own belief. They're paying for belief. And what we try to fix at the very beginning is fixing that belief. So most often, I mean, I'm looking at you in my little image here. You're cute as a button at 26. You look like you're 30 and you take great care of yourself and you got this really amazing job with this incredible resources. I don't ever think that you probably don't even need these services because at your age, you could just go to the gym and you could probably just, go out in the Wild West and just go out blow dried and like look like $1 million. It might be difficult for you to feel like I need to ask somebody for $8,000.
And I'm like, I got a C-section area. I hide it.
Yeah, but you also don't have these problems because although you have a C-section, that child is probably only a couple of years old. You've only been carrying that C-section scar for a short period of time. So your pain of carrying that you have not yet gone through the struggles of trying to handle it yourself. So the way that originally will teach you is to borrow belief, and that is to borrow belief from Catherine or myself. So many people are like, my friend Stacy does this. I can do this too. Borrow somebody's belief. The really, really exciting thing, honestly, is that you have this device in front of you. You can actually change your own beliefs. Do you know what I would suggest as changing your own beliefs?
Looking at my device.
What's that?
Looking at my device.
Yeah. So the way you change your own beliefs is have undeniable results the results speak for themselves. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that because I'm sensing your sense of integrity is so strong that you almost are going to prohibit your ability to convert somebody.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of confused because I know the services and believe in them.
But so one of the things that I will teach you is even though you're young and have your own wallet and your own lived experiences and your own pain points, even though Catherine is older and has her own lived experience and her pain points and her own wallet and her own time, you can't put and this is something that I check this in every single time I have an interaction. Don't show up to your interaction with that baggage and expectations. Meaning, just because, and I see my kids do this all the time. Oh my gosh, she's rich. Did you see she got a Hummer for her 17th birthday? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The assumption is somebody's rich because their parents decided to buy them a car. What they don't know is that person lives in a trailer home and that the only thing they care about is their car. It doesn't necessarily mean that so what I'm trying to say is that we do this automatically. And what I'm going to teach you is that you're just going to turn that off. You're not going to not do it. You're just going to remind yourself that's a choice they made because a Hummer to a 17-year-old actually fixes the parents' problem, not the kid's problem. It fixes the parents' problem of having their kids' perception being better than other people's. You see what I'm saying? So what some of the things that we will go over is how to translate what somebody brings in front of you and to dissect it directly without bias. And that simply just goes by running the play, understanding their baseline. What is their self-awareness? What's their desire to get out of this pain point? It has nothing to do with the fact that they can afford it or that they can't afford it. It has everything to do with the fact that they value getting out of pain. The pain is where we're going to uncover, and I utilize this language around, having emotional buy-in which usually results in like you're going to need a box of tissues because they will cry. And if they don't cry, I can share with you they're not going to spend money. And you should feel really great because when they cry, you're actually uncovering something that they personally didn't recognize. And that is usually how long they've been living with insecurities around how terrible they look in the mirror. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're ugly or they're terrible. It has everything to do with what they've been carrying inside. So, so those are the things that because, you know, most people, I mean, you look the part of somebody who works in aesthetics because you purposely care for yourself. And that's why you're in this industry, right?
Mhm.
I would just teach you how to withhold judgment around what is valuable to somebody in front of you. And I do that all the time. Cast judgment, check in with myself, reword, because it's just human nature.
Yeah.
Our bias is running our decisions without thinking. It is an automatic thing.
Okay.
So that was a long-winded way of answering your question. So I think your question was around what is the approach that I'm going to teach you. And so I'm hoping
Yes.
I'm hoping my explanation explained that it's a very process-driven and it's very objective. And the things I will teach you is pausing, not talking up here and talking more down here, dropping an air bomb and leaving it, letting them talk and you just nod, maybe pat them, be like, I hear you, explain that more. Literally repeating what they share with you by asking the right questions and acknowledging. It is 99% about them and what they say and getting them to go like peeling the layers of the onion. We're not going to peel it, they are. And that's the difference between a $199 purchase versus somebody who trusts you. The reason they trust you quickly is because you're not trying to sell them something. You're trying to find out if this problem is worth their investment of time and money. The clients find it very authentic because they choose to invest rather than being sold. And you get to feel like you did them a favor by showing them a solution that they didn't know was available. I mean, that's the whole point of paid advertising is to show people options that they didn't know of. And you
Yeah.
don't have to feel like a used car salesman. You can look them in the eye and say, I can't wait to see you for the next 10 weeks. You're going to come twice a week or once a week, and you're going to really enjoy the experience. And you're going to be able to walk your son down the aisle in that strapless dress.
Okay.
Um, did that answer your question? Was that helpful?
Yeah, that gave me more guidance. It goes.
What other questions do you have for me?
That was my big thing because I like understand the process and I've been doing the process and like I sold a package this week.
You sold a package this week.
So
Awesome.
it was one.
Yay.
It's
It was
it, it's one. I was like,
so,
it's only
yeah, but you
75.
got to start with one. So Amanda, was that a stranger, like a Facebook lead?
She actually is somebody who had already purchased a package from us, and I sold her another one.
The second
And
one. So it was a second package to the same person.
yes, correct.
And so was it a 5-pack or was it a 10-pack? What was it?
It was a facial.
It was a 6-pack facial. So it was one of our smaller packages, but it was still like I did a sale on that.
I think that's awesome. So a 6-pack facial. And then what is your recommendation in terms of cadence that they're going to come in
I scheduled them out for their next two.
for their next two? Why two?
Frequently.
They they didn't know their kids' football schedule or something like that, and so we could at least do two. And so I
Okay.
told them the next time they come in, it's another two that we'll schedule out. So
Okay. And are you doing that like weekly?
this one was for 2 months.
Okay. So once a month. So this facial treat package is going to be a 1 month per treatment.
She wanted to go a month in between. She's got a couple of trips.
Okay. Okay. So one of the things that I would like you to just recognize what just happened, because we take our own bias to every conversation. And the reason I bring this up is because I want you to realize what we say and what is heard is very different. Okay. And the reason this is important is because when somebody says something to you in a consultation, clarifying what they mean, because what they're bringing to you and what we're hearing, we come with this at a different perspective, right? We're coming into their lives with information they're sharing, and then we're putting value and judgment based on it. So you told me you sold a package. I honestly made the assumption it was a body package. Okay. So you told me you sold a package. I made the assumption it was a body package, which is awesome. I also, in my head, made the assumption this was a facial client that you converted to a body package.
Mhm.
And then what you brought to me was you sold a 6-pack for a client that was already a client. So some of the verbiage that I hear and that I want to teach you on is specificity. So when you said you sold a package, when we're looking at sales and success, that scenario you brought is awesome. It's awesome. It's not less valuable. You sold a 6-pack. What it actually says is you created a really great experience from the first one that they want more,
Mhm.
which is fantastic because that helps you with your belief that facials make people feel good and look good, that they want more of it.
Correct.
Okay. So one of the opportunities that I would improve on that is every facial interaction is an opportunity to uncover a body problem. Okay.
Correct.
Additionally, when somebody buys a package of facials, if they want just facials, that's okay to do like on a monthly thing. If they want a transformation,
It's everything.
it is a different level of investment and a different cadence and a different outcome. So, you know, that what that scenario is like, so that's why I was asking you, what's the cadence, what's her expectation? So when you get like, I mean, so you basically got another chance at bat, you got up again, you closed a deal, you got her to excited. I would actually check in with her and make sure her expectations match what you're delivering, because
Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to add to that because we had a scenario where we sold somebody a 4-pack of microneedling with Vamp at PDNR, and their expectation was that all their wrinkles would be gone at 4 visits. And so we're shifting how we sell things on the facial side. And I know you guys aren't really focusing on that, but we would love you to give us that guidance too.
yeah.
To asking what the outcome they're trying to get in on their facial side, and then having a signature menu where it's like, this is the program. It's not a 4-pack of microneedling. It's a 4-pack of microneedling and a cryofacial every other week and this skincare line. And after 6 months, we can reassess with our AI analyzer how far we got, things like that. So we're
Yeah.
not setting unrealistic expectations on the facial side.
I think that's a really good plan of really uncovering what the success looks like, because when Amanda and well, I have this wedding, I'm hoping to not have to be airbrushed in photos. I don't know, whatever their sense of like success is, you want to uncover that. And so uncovering that takes a couple of iterations, because the first thing they're going to say is less wrinkles, less fat, less uncomfortable in my belt. That's just like the first round. It's like a draft. Like that's the only verbiage that they have. You're going to go deeper and ask, why is that important? How long have you had this? Why now? Because then they're going to share with you all the other things. Well, let's use your microneedling example. Well, I mean, I've done laser, it didn't work. I saw some of your photos. I really love Amanda. She does that. She was telling me that it has good results. I just really would like all my blemishes to go away. somebody says that I want their blemishes to go away, they're 51 years old like me, and they love the sun and don't like to wear makeup, is a different, I want my blemishes to go away than my 16-year-old daughter who puts a lot of effort into skincare. So understanding what they did and what they're willing to do to have the results or get out of the pain point that they're in. And those are just simple asking questions, letting it sit, letting them look at you like, that's a weird question. Let me process this question. And you're just sitting there. The first person who talks loses. You played that game when you're younger, right? Let them sit because they're more uncomfortable than you are. And their mind is thinking. They're like, why is it? She just asked me why it's important that I don't have wrinkles. And we're both sitting here in silence. I'm like, why is it important that I don't have wrinkles? Well, I don't know. I mean, it takes me like 20 minutes to go to Sephora and pick out skincare. Do you know how much time I spend like picking out things to just make me look natural? Or I don't know, I just keep trying all these different solutions. Like I've been to I've done it with Amanda, but then, I tried this at home face mask. I feel like I've like this drawer full of like buffet things of tricks I tried and none work. And oh my gosh, all the time I've spent. If you leave room, space, silence, they're going to say these out loud. And when they say something out loud, you don't jump to, oh, there it is. There's the nugget. No. So you're saying you have a lot of products. Repeat exactly what they said. So you're saying you have a lot of products. Yeah. And, I don't know, I just got this new subscription. I really thought, I mean, Amanda told me to use those products, but like, I can't even find them. So you aren't using the products. Do you see what I'm saying? All of just teaching you to help them uncover the depths that they've been coping will help you give the right solution because then you can come back and with them and say, for example, let's use your micro needling example. So, you know, I would like to recommend a series of 3 months skincare. It is a robust program, and I use a couple of different modalities, micro needling being one of the most potent in it. And in that period of time, we're gonna do these. You're gonna have weekly or biweekly or daily appointments, whatever that cadence is that you recommend. And we are going to take photos and assess with our AI thing and our regular photos to make sure we're seeing the improvements in the things that you're looking, because you said your goal is to just wear less makeup. Well, I don't know that I want to come in that often, or I don't know that I actually want to do all of those treatments. Well, so you don't want to, so instead of trying to sell them, it's them. So you don't want to do all those treatments. Yeah, I don't know that I really want to do all of the things. I just thought I would do the micro needling. But if you think like all of that would work, so your job, honestly, like the fun part about this is like you already have all the solutions. The only thing missing is the process of them uncovering how their problem, how much they value their own problems. When we push the solution too soon, we're probably solving the wrong problem. And when we solve the wrong problem, they underprice and underappreciate. So the best example is you're on a first date and they ask you to get married, right? Like I'm not there yet. So it's the same scenario of like, well, I don't trust you. I found you on Facebook. I don't know that I've done it. I've never spent this kind of money on myself. I don't even know if this works. It's all about them. It's always about them. And we can't tell them it's about them. They have to bring that to us. Was that a helpful example?
Yes.
Okay. What other, can you share with me some of the things you'd like to gain from this interaction and this relationship?
Um, being able to, I like practice the process and like before every client that our sales girl, as I'm gonna put her, just we're calling Emily our sales girl. She's our esthetician. She's doing the body contouring. I walk through the process with her before every client, and I ask, like, do you feel confident? Where do we need to support more? Where are we at? And I want to make sure that she is at the point where she believes in it herself, per se, and making sure that yes, we have a check-in, but it's not okay, what did we learn from last time? How are we changing this process so that you and I can look at each other and be like, we're doing it. And she does it in the room and then we finalize it at the desk.
Awesome. Okay. So so we'll probably do some group coaching where you and I and
Okay.
her are together so I can help facilitate that handoff and the smooth like overlapping and delegating.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is like she does the quote quote check-in, but it's really a baseline assessment and warming the lead, right? Then turns it over to the provider, you hypothetically, who does the service. Okay, walk me
No,
through this
right,
again.
right now, Emily is the esthetician doing the service.
Got it.
Or she was really the only one kind of trying to sell, and front desk would try to close. But now
Okay.
we've identified that like we just need to have like Amanda master it, and then when we have a full-time salesperson, they will lead it. But Amanda needs to be kind of the salesperson for now.
So
Okay,
I'm
got
just,
it.
yeah, I'm
So I
doing
reverse the roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Amanda is checking in, getting a baseline, meet, greet, urgency, uncovering potential desire, removing barriers of like trust issues. That's Amanda's first goal. Then it's the handoff of like Emily actually fulfilling the service, not
correct.
contradicting or discrediting what you're trying to do,
Exactly.
and then overlapping and bringing the situation full circle so you can easily check her out.
Yes.
Okay. So that is a logistical communication thing that we can absolutely work out. And a lot of it is just at the very beginning. There's, like for example, right now I'm training a new sales manager and she and her and the tech literally are like they are like traveling partners.
That's what I'm trying to get to with Emily is she's in the room with me. She's the practitioner, but I'm leading the.
You're leading. Okay, great. And then so the idea is at the beginning, you're going to tell Emily and the client at the same time. Just be like, and she's physically here. And just like, so she's sitting there. Maybe she's got her little notepad and you're doing the console and you're like, okay, so you came in for this. You're interested in this. Tell me a little bit of how long this has been bothering you. Why are you coming here today? What other things have you looked at? All of the things that are going to make them feel something, want something, cry. Okay. You're going to get all that done in like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You might take those photos, I would recommend, because when you're taking the photos, you're actually getting them to share. I'm going to take the photos, tell me a little bit more about this area, turn, turn, turn. Emily is sitting right here. And you're going to say something along the lines, okay, so Emily, she's here. She's like a fly in the wall. She's physically been here the whole time. But like Emily's going to take really great care of you. She usually is the person that really makes people feel great and look good. I'm actually going to go meet the next client and I will come right back in. Emily, now you're literally saying this, client's here. Emily, just like, Stacy needed, she is concerned about the upper area. So we're going to do the Neve Skin manual treatment here. And then you could focus on that area she was saying about like it being stubborn here since her C-sections. You're validating what the person said and you're making it very important because you're repeating it for her. So she's going to do the service. You have any questions around the treatment experience or such, Emily's a great person. She can handle. Emily's not going to handle. No, she's not. You're lifting her up, making her sound great, but she's not handling. She's simply going to do the service, log the questions, maybe answer a little superficially. But when you come back in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, Emily's going to be like, so she had some questions and concerns around the science, like why warm, why cold. Emily made a first pass. Well, the device goes cold, it goes warm, it increases your circulation, you improve. She's going to give the scientific approach, but she's also going to bring it to you because what she client shares about science or technique is a lack of understanding and trust in the process. So Emily needs to just repeat what it is. So I answered some of her questions around the temperature process. Stacy's a little bit concerned that it was like really warm and then cold, and is that necessary? I told her about her lymphatic system and such. You're going to give her what does that mean for her? Do you see the difference? What it means for her cells, what it does, just like it's education. So you're coming in what does this mean? So, the service that you got, we're basically helping your body act more efficiently like it did when you were my age, back when I was 26. It was more efficient, didn't have all these effects of gravity slowing down the systems and inflammation. And this device helps expedite your whole circulation and lymphatic system. Why is that important? Because it increases the thickness of your skin. It's going to shrink your waistline and remove the appearance of that frustrated C-section of those beautiful kids left behind. The results that you're seeing today, although they're awesome because it makes you believe this works, instead of saying it doesn't last, you say something along the lines of to have sustainable compounding results that are meaningful. Every single one of our clients does a transformation. The reason the price is discounted to meet you today is because most people wouldn't invest a lot of money on something that they don't understand. It is my boss's opportunity to invest so that way we meet people like you. She's spending money online, so I get to meet people, introduce them, and that they decide they're worth investing in.
Okay.
So you see how like the smooth hand, like it's almost like it's like a relay. You're holding the wand together for a little bit, but you're letting go, and then I'm bringing it back. She had these problems, questions, issues. This is basically what you need to close, Amanda. And so I will teach both of you how to frame the insight that's brought to you by the client and then repeat it in front of the client so that way you're all on the same page.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Okay, so we're going to put that on our to-do list, Catherine. The logistics, the tag teaming of provider and consult. What other issues or things that you'd like to learn or opportunities in the business you think are holding back revenue, Amanda?
She's grabbing her food too.
Yeah.
Got a lot playing in my head right now. Honestly, I think it's just it's having, so I come from the management side of things, is making sure that we have enough leads per se to be constantly working on this process, because we'll get like one and then we won't have one for a couple of days. So we're not constantly doing the process, and our minds don't work that way. Like you have to do it so many times for it to stick.
Yeah. We'll fix that because we're going to actually be investing at least $4,500 per month on advertising. So it's going to be more than double what we're doing today. So you're going to see more than double clients.
That was where my brain comes from. Yes, I'm an esthetician. I'm also business side of things, and I'm also in this field. I'm an integrative health student as well, so I know how these things work. But I want to see the schedule align with how our brains are working and making sure we're constantly working with the process.
So that's a really great observation. We would, Catherine and I both agree that we're going to increase the volume of activity so that way you have a better chance to nail this skill. This is a common challenge. This is a common major bottleneck, by the way. Many businesses that are terrible at converting have
Don't
a
have the
fear of investing. And
Mhm.
when you decide I'm going to take the risk and invest and they're invest so the way investment works is Catherine's going to invest her own income into gambling on you and Emily.
Yep.
And
And I'm
and
like 60 grand in already in advertising.
yeah. And so it's like buying that really nice car and not putting gas in it. So she put in some of the bones of the business, but now she needs to put some gas in it and she's decided premium.
So my one thing, and it just popped into my head.
Yeah.
We just hired somebody else, and I
Okay.
also she's going to be that person that like if I'm not here and I can't do it because I am the manager, so I'm yes I need to do the sales as well, but I also have other things to help Katie with. If I'm not doing it, I want her confident in being able to do it.
Yeah.
And actually, Stacy, want you to evaluate all my employees to see who could, if we could, somebody does have potential to become the sales manager.
Yeah.
When we're discussing like how we hire that position, because
Great.
if we could have someone from within at least fill that position or grow into that position as a, a
Mhm.
secondary salesperson, that would be great too.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna probably have to say something that's a little humbling, Amanda. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Your primary goal as a manager is the future money.
Yep.
Okay. So whether your sales manager sucks, it is your job to close those deals.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the nature of being a owner mindset of a manager versus an employee who just does their job. The business is way too small, and it's just way too small for people to have these like roles. So it sounds like you do have that mindset. I mean, Catherine spoke very highly of you in advance of this, that you basically could do a lot of things and then have, shown loyalty and interest, natural interest, because of obviously your integrative health and all the certifications. But I want to just point out that I would never, ever, ever recommend any spa owner to hire a manager has ownership in sales. Because at the end of the day, if they're not driven to the revenue, it doesn't really matter if they're saving a lot of money by doing things better. So I appreciate that perspective, but I just want to tell you that the reason I'm bringing this in urgent is because if there's one thing that I want you to have in your mind, it is you and that sales manager working quickly. And at the beginning, it's going to be you carrying her weight and probably shadowing. Hopefully she learns with obviously my interference or help, what have you. Um, but that's the lens that I'd like you to really focus on because, the end of the day, the only thing I'm going to talk to Catherine about every probably day is how much money did she make to date every day? And how much did she make to month? Because that's the number we're tracking. Daily sales, month to date sales, and how many at bats? How many chances does she have? So leads, how many leads are booked? And then we'll ask, what did those leads buy? Did they buy a 10 pack, a 20 pack, a 5 pack? Um, and so I would like to just be clear that that's kind of the sprint we're making. So that way it pays the bills. Because if you got money coming in, she can pay the advertising bill, she can pay the rent, she can pay your salary, and then also invest in better technology and better services. So when we're looking at that manager, make sure you're bringing that to me where you're like, oh, I'm carrying her. She's not learning these skills. We will work on that. And if she's just not coachable to become a salesperson, I mean, I honestly, in this business, you don't really have to be good at sales. I mean, she paid for these incredible services. You just need to run the play, and now you know the play. So if we teach people an easier way to be a trusted advisor, then they don't necessarily have to be fantastic at like improving sales. And that's why I like to teach this process is because high-end services like non-invasive contouring, the facial and body, technically it could sell itself if you did it right.
Correct.
It's just, and I actually tell people when they have that Facebook lead, and they raise their hands on the phone, if they didn't buy, we messed it up. It's not, it's, we already had that sale. I probably could have sent them the credit card when they clicked the link. They would have spent $3,000 right then. But then we give them reasons to like hesitate because we give them way too much information. Oh, it goes from 4 to -4 degrees. I'm going to do this thing. And then we give them way too much information that they're in the weeds with like, does this work? No. Are you worth it? Are you tired of feeling insecure? I'm frustrated. So you and I will work with our sales manager, and hopefully we can transfer these your skills and her to her, and then that way you can ideally you can also take some sales calls or at least a portion of them because at the end of the day, that's the most revenue generating activity is doing consults.
Well, and I want to be that person that has that connection with the clients. That's what I come from.
Great. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm really excited to work with you.
I'm excited.
Catherine's got big plans for your career and your team's business. And I'm honored to be the person that gets to help and work with you guys. So
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
you're welcome. And I really like I went to college in Colorado, so I was like, oh, please get me in Colorado.
That's awesome. Which school?
CSU.
Denver or
Fort Collins. Fort Collins. Yeah. Where are you guys located? In Denver?
Westminster, just about 20 minutes north of work. It's like the address falls into North Denver. We're like 120th and Federal or right off I-25.
Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome. Well, we said this would be a short call and we did go long. So I'm grateful that you guys made this work. I think it was really productive. I've gained a lot of knowledge and I have great faith that you guys are coachable and hungry to learn and really excited about being successful easier.
yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Stacy.
Thank
What
you.
are the next steps then?
So I would say the
I'm
next,
today,
yeah.
but
What's that?
I still have to sign the agreement today, which I will
Okay.
do today.
Yeah. So I would say the next steps would probably be a call. I would like to do a similar call with this. And maybe since Amanda's the manager, maybe I do that with Amanda and individually with her team and sort of remove Catherine from this because Amanda needs to make this work.
Okay.
Let Amanda run with this and that she brings me as a resource to her team.
Sure.
Does that sound good? All right. So Amanda, Catherine, can you introduce me via text or something to Amanda? And then she and I will discuss. She will get me on a call like this with Emily and is it Emily?
It's Emily right now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you and I get on a call with Emily so we can discuss what she sees and we'll do the initial thing is simply like what I just did, a baseline of building trust, not necessarily giving you direction. So we need to do that pretty quickly so that way I can kind of gauge she's on board with like work, your ideas of working with me and then what she sees as potential and struggle. And then we'll come up with a plan from there.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So action item, connect me directly with her so you're able to introduce us on three-way and then she and you set up a time slot for us to do a Zoom like this.
Okay.
All right.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. And then Chu and I will close the loop after that and we'll decide when we're doing our on-site and who comes.
Okay.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your Friday, ladies.
Thank you. You as well.
So exciting. I'm really excited because I can see the future of your really fast momentum. So I'm thrilled that you get to realize that soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
All right, bye-bye,
Have a great
ladies.
weekend. Bye.
You too.